happy. Welcome to the Colorful Homeschooler Podcast, where we parlay on productivity, personality, passions, education, and theory. I'm a lover of Jesus, a wife of 20 years, and a homeschool mama of 4 special needs boys who keep me constantly active. I'm so glad you're here to join me. Pull up a chair. There's space for you at this table. Welcome back. So I've started my spring foraging, and we've been outside almost every day. How is your spring starting off? I'm doing an Instagram series right now on spring foraging, recipes, how to find the best plants for food grade, and what they offer medicinally or culinarily. What's your favorite part of the spring? Come on over and follow that on Colorful Homeschooler on Instagram. I don't know about you, but my family tends to get sick during seasonal changes. But why? Why is this so? Why the colds that you get in spring? Vitamin D, which is an essential nutrient for the immune system, has decreased as we've spent more time indoors over the winter months. The cooler temps and the drier air make it easier for viruses to spread. Our mucous membranes dry out from that same cool temp and dry air, and these are our first line of defense against any incoming germs. You see, germs get breathed in through our nasal passages, and when moist, they get trapped by that mucus, which becomes boogers, and we then blow the germs out. But when dry, the mucus can't trap the germs, and they go into our lungs. Also, at seasonal change, there's a drop in barometric pressure. Now, physics tells us that when the pressure of a gas goes down, the volume must go up. So with the lower barometric pressure, the air pockets in our sinuses expand and push against those sinus pockets and swell. This increases sinus pain, which in turn can increase the irritation of the nasal passage and the mucosal membrane. So now you know why. But this doesn't help us stay healthy. I mean, it's spring. Spring is about the burst of new life. Who wants to be unhealthy and sheltered? Sap is rising as the air warms, spring greens bringing their tonic properties out of the darkening soil. When I undertook this concentrated research, I was so encouraged in my faith. All of the plants that come up first in the spring are known for cleansing properties. They're immunoboosting and they strengthen you. Bitter greens, which are a huge characteristic of so many of these early plants, bitter greens stimulate digestive enzymes and bile. They cleanse the liver after our rich winter fare. Floral syrups act as expectorants and fight colds. Nature doesn't want us to be sick either. Now, I'm not a doctor, and I don't intend any advice in this podcast to supplement that of your health professional. This is just some wisdom I've come to from years of researching for myself and my family. Make sure you check any of it with your health practitioner. So let's go over a few tips that can help your body stay healthy with minimal input. I did a spring journaling reflection episode in episode 21. I'll link it in the show notes. So we've dealt with trying to get our minds healthy and strong for the seasonal change. Now the body. So let's start with inside the body, things we can take or ingest inside in order to keep us healthy. Supplements form a strong foundation on which to build any immediate action responses to sicknesses. But you can use them preventatively, too, to enhance your immune system for the seasonal change. Zinc is the one I rely on the most. It boosts immune health and is useful in wound healing. It balances your metabolism, managing blood sugar, and reducing heart disease risk. It's also used in many products to keep your skin healthy, but we'll talk about some external uses of different things in a little bit. Zinc is a positively charged ion. Well, who cares? That means it requires a transporter to help it across the cell wall. So you have to pair zinc with an ionosphere to make it bioavailable. I pair it with turmeric curcumin, which has been shown in independent studies to be a fantastic pairing for zinc to carry it into the cell and allow it to work. Elemental iron will decrease zinc absorption, so don't take it at the same time with any iron supplements or supplements containing iron. Your body can handle dosages of over 75 milligrams a day of zinc when you're symptomatic. These reduce the duration, but in testing haven't been shown necessarily to reduce the severity in double-blind testing. Probiotics would be my next suggestion. These enhance immunity, reduce inflammation, and keep your digestion regular. But what are they actually? So you already have live bacteria and yeast living in your body. But over-the-counter probiotics add when your store of natural bacteria is depleted. They keep the good bacteria winning out over the bad bacteria. They train your immune system to recognize and eliminate harmful bacteria. They also fight fungi overgrowth, the yeasts, as well as parasites and viruses. There have been 2 that have been shown to have beneficial effects within your body, are safe to consume, and they survive through the digestive tract. Lactobacillus and Bifidobacterium. Now, any supplements that contain these living creatures must be refrigerated. If you're buying shelf-stable probiotics, they're not doing anything. They're dead. So we can get these dietarily from fermented foods, such as kimchi, kefir and yogurt, cottage cheese, miso soup, sauerkraut, kombucha, and pickles. Now, many of these foods will have cheaper commercial substitutes that are not fermented, so make sure you look for live and active cultures on the labels. Many studies have shown if your gut health is high, influences your mood and your pain tolerance, as well as lowering mental fatigue, inflammation, immunoresponse, and boosting your metabolism while lowering your blood sugar and fat storage. So these little guys are powerhouses if you're taking ones that are actually doing the job. Vitamin C has also been known to be an immune powerhouse for centuries. It supports the function of various immunity cells in the body and protects against infection. It reduces the severity and duration of colds and protects against oxidative stress. Vitamin C is water-soluble, so any excess within your body is flushed out. You can get this from citruses as well as dark green leafy vegetables or through a quality supplement. Hot water with citrus, especially lemon or lime, is an Ayurvedic relief drink that has been shown to protect the liver from negative responses. Take this in the morning to have that protection throughout the day. Okay, now, vitamin D is debated in supplement form. Those against it tout that it isn't bioavailable in synthetic form, and that without a blood test, you cannot know how deficient, or if you're deficient at all. Since it's fat soluble, it is stored in your fat cells if your body doesn't use all of it, so you don't expunge it like you do vitamin C. But it enhances pathogen-fighting effects of monocytes and macrophages, which are types of white blood cells that are an important force in immune defense. It promotes immune response, and a 2019 study showed that a supplement of at least 600 IUs decreased the risk of respiratory infection. We do take it in our house throughout the winter. You see, vitamin D is the sunshine vitamin, so when you're spending significant time in the sun with uncovered skin, studies do show that even wearing a rash guard decreases vitamin D absorption by high percentages. So uncovered skin for 15 minutes a day at least, you shouldn't need the supplement without a proper blood test. Okay, here are the ones that you may not think about. Glutamine, also referenced as L-glutamine, is an amino acid that studies have shown is essential during an inflammatory response due to that virus or a bacterial infection. Glutamine is critical for cell growth and supports immune cells while fighting off a virus. The gut, liver, kidney, and immune system all require it. Suppose the body is dealing with this inflammatory response. In that case, it causes the depletion of glutamine levels, resulting in that weak immune system. A recent 2020 study published in the journal Clinical Nutrition conducted a clinical experiment with 2 groups of hospitalized people with a novel viral infection. One group was given glutamine and the other a placebo. The results demonstrated that those given glutamine supplementations had a shortened hospital stay and less need for the ICU. Elderberry has also been shown in studies to bolster the immune system response by increasing white blood cells. Studies revealed it can also shorten the cold's duration and severity and help alleviate viral infections. Elderberry is a potent antiviral that clinical studies showed helped protect against influenza virus strains and prevent upper respiratory tract infections. But avoid immune system formulas that use elderberry in the less effective powder form. Look for an elderberry syrup, or make it yourself if you can. Or look for a brand that uses elderberry in extract form, which was the same kind used in the clinical studies. Echinacea is the final supplement that I will speak about. A review of 14 different clinical studies concluded that echinacea could help reduce the risk of contracting a cold by up to 58% and reduce the duration by up to 36 hours. This unique flower works by stimulating white blood cell activity and energizing immune cells, which makes them more efficient at attacking harmful bacteria and viruses. I wanted to talk about some spring herbal remedies as well. These should be sprouting up all around you. Dandelions! I'm running a series right now on some dandelion recipes and ways to harvest it on Instagram. Again, follow me, Colorful Homeschooler. Dandelion restores depleted energy and revives the winter dampened spirit. It contains vitamins A, B complex, C, E, potassium, iron, magnesium, calcium, and zinc. In the wild, it contains more of these minerals than the dried form, even if it's from a reputable source. If dried is all you can get, totally take it. But right now, they're everywhere. Dandelion is a diuretic. It aids in kidney function, and the bitter greens do what? Remember from the beginning? That's right, they stimulate digestion and bile, cleansing the liver. So the roots can be toasted to make a coffee substitute. The flowers can be used for cookies, cakes, wine, tea, along with floral syrups or essences. The leaves can be used in most salad or sauté recipes. Because these are quite bitter, if you soak them in some salt water first, it lessens that bitter flavor while still retaining their health properties. Here's a recipe for a spring cleansing tonic from Our Kindred Home by Allison Morgan. Okay, you take 1 tablespoon dried yellow dock root, 1 tablespoon dried dandelion root, 1 tablespoon dried burdock root, and 1 tablespoon dried astragalus root, 2 tablespoons dried rose hips, a teaspoon of cardamom pods, and 8 cups of water in a pot. Set it on low heat and simmer the herbs uncovered for 30 to 45 minutes, stirring occasionally until almost reduced by half. This is your decoction. Don't boil it, but keep the herbs at a low simmer. Now remove the pot from the heat and stir in 3 tablespoons dried nettle leaf. Let this sit for 10 to 15 minutes. Strain all the herbs out and then stir in 1 cup of molasses. Let the syrup cool and pour it into bottles. It makes a 1-quart jar, so you can also just pour the entire thing into the 1-quart jar. Your daily dosage is 1 tablespoon 1 to 3 times per day. Now you can add this, 2 tablespoons of it, to a cup of warm or iced milk or non-dairy milk for a refreshing and nourishing beverage. It'll maintain energy levels and also improve iron stores because of the molasses. So the Spring Cleansing Tonic from Our Kindred Home by Allison Morgan. My next sprouting plant I want to talk about is arrowleaf balsam root. This is all over west of the Rockies, and it is known as a heavy edible plant. It's been called spring sunflower and breadroot. So this is useful in respiratory health, wound care, immune support, and reducing headaches. You can make it into a poultice to help with burns and insect bites. It's an expectorant, clearing congestion and easing coughs. It supports lung functioning. The roots can be steamed, roasted, or dried for coffee or tea. They can also be tinctured for immune support. So this root is a long taproot, so expect more difficulty pulling it out than you would think. To take care of nature, select single stem flowers for the roots instead of those with a grouping of flowers off one taproot, because it will continue to propagate then. The seeds can be roasted or made into a floury meal, similar to sunflower seeds. This will be the next foraging series on Instagram for me after dandelions, because they'll be coming up soon. And remember, when we forage, we don't take more than 1/3 of what's available to leave nature what it needs. Nettle will also be sprouting soon. Gather with gloves or order dried, because it does sting, but it's powerhouse of immune system support. Nettle is rich in vitamins A, B complex, C, iron, zinc, magnesium, calcium, and potassium. It builds the immune system and acts as an antihistamine when tinctured or in tea. Consistent small doses support your adrenal system. It is tonic, so it is cleansing, clearing, and nourishing, and it gives support to the circulatory and nervous system. So the nettles can be sautéed into frittatas, made into pesto, soups, or substituted for spinach in any recipe. They can be dried in teas or infused in oils and vinegars, and there are a multitude of recipes online for nettle cakes, pastas, and other recipes. I have a friend who makes a cold infusion with oat straw and nettle from a reputable herb source. I'll include some in the show notes. A cold infusion is one that's made overnight in cold water to not damage the herbal properties in some softer herbs. A floral essence can be made with any of the above flowers, but also with cherry or apple blossoms, roses, honeysuckle, lavender, and more. You pour water over the flowers in a glass bowl and leave it in the sun for 3 to 5 hours. This is called a sun infusion, and you want it in full sun. You strain out the flower petals or buds and preserve it in 1 part water to 1 part alcohol. Organic vodka or brandy works best. Then you decant downwards. Take 7 drops of the infusion and mix with 1 part alcohol to 1 part water. That's your stock bottle. Put this in a cool, dark place. When you want to use the essence, you make a dosage bottle in which you take 7 drops of the stock bottle and again mix it with 1:1 parts alcohol and water. Use the dosage bottle as a tincture bottle to treat whatever ailment that flower treats. Finally, I try to include some bone broth and some golden milk in my diet. Bone broth is made from boiling animal bones and skin with vegetable leftovers, such as the tops and peels of veggies, onion skins, etc. It has a high water content that helps you stay hydrated, and it's filled with collagen, a high protein source that helps our hair, skin, and nails grow, as well as boosting your immune system. Bone broth also helps reduce inflammation, and for those who know, inflammation in the body is what causes most discomfort and many sicknesses. Golden milk is an Indian beverage that is very rich in antioxidants and anti-inflammatory properties. Plus, it's said to relax you for a good night's sleep. So, many reasons to take this delicious beverage. The first time you try it, if you're not used to the intense Indian flavors, it may be a little bit much, but I promise, stick with it and you will come to love it. So here's a recipe. If you take 1 tablespoon ground turmeric, a 1/4 teaspoon ground ginger, 4 black peppercorns, 1 stick cinnamon, 1 star anise, a pinch of whole clove, and a teaspoon of whatever sweetener you choose, and put it in 2 cups of milk. Then you put it over a small pot, medium heat, and whisk it to combine. Heat for 4 to 5 minutes until steaming, but do not let it come to a boil. Serve it warm or pour it over ice. And again, make sure you sweeten it a little bit. You can also foam the milk with the milk foamer that I've been recommending, and I'll link it in the show notes. I love my milk frother. It's amazing. So I also wanted to include some external things we can do to improve our health during this seasonal change. An herbal bath is a wonderful way to greet any season. It includes aromatherapeutic properties and health that can be absorbed through our skin. Aromatic lavender is one of the best at fighting fungal infections and inflammation and has heavy antibacterial properties. It increases relaxation as well as headaches, muscle strains, and tension. Breathing it in keeps away congestion and colds. Chamomile is another one, which increases relaxation and soothes the nervous system. It's also an antispasmodic, meaning it relieves muscle cramps and tension, and it heals skin irritation or abrasions. Calendula has long been famed for its skin healing properties. It reduces allergic redness, reduces injury recovery time, and can help speed the healing of minor scrapes and burns. It's moisturizing and antibacterial to fight off colds and infections. But note to the wise, the petals must be cleaned out of your bath immediately upon finishing, because they will dye your bath walls if you leave them. Lemon balm is another soothing bath herb. It's been shown to moderate depression and help restlessness, so a lemon balm infused bath right before bed sounds like a wonderful end to the day. Drink some golden milk and we're all set. It lowers irritation and lowers insomnia. It's a topical antihistamine, and it also soothes bug bites and scratches and prevents skin infections. The final addition to an herbal bath could be roses of all colors. Just not from a florist, because they're usually heavily sprayed. The rose has calming and balancing properties. It's restorative to the nervous system and helps to draw heat out of the body, so it's excellent for a fever or at the end of a steamy hot day. It also reduces topical inflammation. So herbal baths can grow our immunoresponse and increase relaxation, thereby combating oxidative degradation from stress. Finally, diffuse some essential oil blends for a breathable immune boost. The most notable ones for aiding your immune system are black pepper, which reduces inflammation and excessive mucus, eucalyptus and peppermint, which open airways and support respiratory function. Basil is a great decongestant. Arbor vitae is an immunostimulant, as well as black pepper, fennel, clove, cinnamon, oregano, and rosemary. Birch and cedarwood act as steroidal oils. You can diffuse these in the air through a high-quality diffuser. Or if you put 6 to 7 drops in your hands, rub them together, and cup them around your nose. Breathe in deeply. There's also handheld quick inhalers that you can use for the same purpose to bring it with you on the go. I'll link my favorite in the show notes. So hopefully you've heard some new ways to stay healthy this season, so you can be outside continuously enjoying nature's bounty. I'm so glad you listened today. Remember, I'm doing a ton of reels on my Instagram. Follow me at Colorful Homeschooler. Like and review the show. A written review makes a huge difference in helping others to find me. Follow the show, share it with a friend, and come back next week. There's new episodes every Tuesday. And remember, friends, I believe